Sometimes the thing you call disappointment is actually an invitation to stop abandoning yourself. And sometimes the most powerful boundary is choosing yourself without needing permission. Desire waits to feel chosen. Devotion. Devotion chooses anyway. Hi, welcome to the Coming Home to You SPARKCAST, where joy is medicine, healing is sacred, and remembrance is your superpower. This space is a sanctuary not for perfection, but for truth. And today, we're talking about the difference between desire and devotion. Because desire says, I'll choose myself when everything aligns. I'll choose myself when I'm ready. I'll choose myself when. If. But devotion says, I choose myself now, even while I'm still coming, even when I don't feel ready, even when I'm scared. Because self-responsibility, self-honoring is leadership qualities. I wanted to tell you a story about Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day out to all the beautiful and amazing women, moms who are showing up every day. I see you. I hear you and I stand with you, sister. Okay, so Mother's Day. I had such a beautiful day with my children. We went out, had breakfast, went to see a movie, had some frozen yogurt, and then went to go to a maze room, one of those escape rooms. And the idea was that we were gonna have dinner at the end of the night when Dad, my husband, got home from dinner, from working. And so the whole time I'm like, okay, perfect timing. We got home around 7 o'clock. And that point, my daughter said she wasn't hungry, and I wasn't feeling that hungry either because we had popcorn at the movie and that frozen yogurt afterward. But so we kind of came home. I went to walk the dog. My husband went upstairs to be on the roof to decompress from work. Anyway, when I got back, I was just like, okay, I guess someone's ready for dinner. And at that moment, I was like, I'm kind of tired too. But so let me fast forward. My son comes up to me around 8:30 p.m. And mind you, Mother's Day is a school night, right? He says he's getting kind of hungry, and I was like, okay, let's go out. I'm ready. Let's go to dinner. Thinking about it being a school night, not really grounding myself in the fact that maybe it's late for us to go to a restaurant. I was still in the whole like, this is a desire I have to go to dinner with the family on Mother's Day. So that's where my brain was. And my daughter didn't want to go. And my husband started complaining about, oh my gosh, I would have gone to dinner 2 hours ago. I was like, that's not the point. The point is no one was hungry. So what was I going to do? What was I supposed to do? And in that moment, I had two options. Maybe there were more, but I had two options to react from the unmet desire, which was the version of the story of me that doesn't feel seen, that feels abandoned, that feels not enough, not chosen. Or I can choose from the version, like a better than choice, from the version of me I'm becoming, from the version of me that loves herself, that chooses herself anyway, and the version of me that doesn't make it mean something about me or about others. And that, my friend, is what I chose to do. I chose to say, listen, I'm going out to dinner by myself then because I get to celebrate myself for choosing life, for choosing me, for doing this mom thing, basically alone for a long time. Does that sound like you? And this is not about blaming my family. No one's at fault. There's no right or wrong. This is just the moment I wanted to share with you that I chose myself. Are you choosing yourself in life, or are you continuously abandoning yourself? Because I realized I could still celebrate myself, even if no one came with me. And that is powerful. That is sovereignty. Have you ever noticed how quickly disappointment can become self-abandonment? Where in your life are you waiting for someone else to choose you first instead of just choosing yourself? Because, I was sitting there at dinner. I wanted to have sushi, by the way. I was like, I want some sushi. Like, going to sushi is kind of a treat because everything it has gone up so much in price these days, where it's just like can't go to sushi as often as we once did. So we go on special occasions. And, I think Mother's Day was a special occasion. Would you say? Would you agree? So I was sitting there having sushi, and I could have done what I have done before, where I get in my head, I make it mean something about me. I don't feel enough. I don't feel, yeah, I feel bad for myself for being there alone. I could totally get in my head about feeling like, here I go again. No one cares about me. I'm not lovable. Nobody wants to come. I could have done that. I could have made it mean rejection. But instead, I became present with myself. I was like, I was not mom. I was not wife. I was not sister, daughter, friend, colleague. I was just Margarita. I wasn't even the podcast host. I was just me in that moment. I don't know about you, but I miss Margarita. Do you miss the you before the roles and the expectations and the titles? Do you miss the version of you that could just be? I sure as hell do. And Sunday night was the first time that I took myself out on a date. And I wasn't on my phone. I was just present with myself in the moment with my food. Oh my gosh. And the food tasted like exceptionally well because I was so present. Instead of being in my thoughts about the past or worrying about the future, I was like in the moment. And I ate more than I've had in a long time for some reason. So I stopped waiting for everyone else to choose me. And I started becoming devoted to myself. What if being alone is an abandonment? What if it's remembrance? What if it's remembrance? Because sometimes we have a desire and we're waiting to be sure, waiting to have someone tell us that we're good enough, waiting for validation, waiting for that next certificate, that next workshop, the green light. Maybe we're like, no, we just need one more course under our belt. No, I just need to finish school. I should go to school. I need to be an expert. I need to have authority. But I realize I don't need permission anymore. I don't need permission from certificates, other people validating me, mentors, coaches telling me I'm ready. I don't need that anymore. Because desire wants the dream. Desire wants the dream. It's a dream. But devotion builds it. Yes, devotion builds it. So I want to ask you, what vision keeps calling you? that you keep postponing until you feel ready. And I say that in quotes. So, what vision keeps calling you that you just keep postponing until you feel ready or sure or good enough? Let me share something with you. Just this week, I was in room. I was in rooms with successful, powerful people, women and men, creating impact, changing lives, making lots and lots of money, successful. And there was a time in a moment where I felt like a fraud. I was like, I don't belong here. Because I could smell the feel. It was palpable, the power, the money, the titles. I just could feel it in my bones. I was just like, who am I to be here? And there was a moment where the desire in me wanted to run away and hide. But devotion said, no, this is a woman I'm becoming. I do belong here. I matter. And I shifted. And that shift allowed me to be present, connected, free, open, authentic. And because of that, you know what I realized? That people were reflecting back to me my greatness, my authenticity, my impact. People who saw me, my light, my joy, my love, my heart. Have you ever fully been seen before by someone? Like truly seen you for your value and your worth? I don't think, let me tell you something. I don't think these people would have seen me in my worth and in my value had I not started seeing myself first. And so in that moment, I told myself, no, I'm in this room because I'm finally aligning with this version of me that I'm becoming. And I see myself now. I see myself too in my value, in my worth, in my light, in my generosity, in my authenticity. Like it's so interesting when authenticity, I feel like authenticity was such a buzzword, especially like last year and the year before that. And it was just like everybody looking for authenticity, everybody wanting authenticity, like authenticity was outside of you or something. I was like, authenticity is not outside of you, it's in you and it's in your truth, not in the performance, not in getting it right, not in people pleasing, definitely not in abandoning yourself. It's in your truth. And the reason why people feel like they are not authentic is because we are, for so many years, abandoning ourselves to stay safe. Does that sound like you? Does this resonate with you? Can you relate to me about like not feeling good enough to be chosen? But the whole time you don't realize that you're not choosing yourself either. So where can you choose yourself today? And the one thing that really helped me get to that place was to focus outside of myself at first. Because I didn't know how to not judge and criticize myself and make myself feel like I am broken, I am bad. And that's shame and that's guilt. And that could take us on a very crazy loop. So instead, I started breaking the pattern, recognizing the pattern, and then interrupting it by doing affirmations in the morning and at night, putting my hand on my heart and just saying, I am worthy, I matter, I am God's child, I'm generous, I'm kind, I'm brave. I said it long enough until I actually started to believe it. But when I started focusing outward to be of service, how I can impact other people to see their worth, doors start to open inside too. So when I focus outward to be of service, doors open inward too. And then I realized something else. Choosing yourself doesn't change you, it changes the entire dynamic around you. People start relating to you differently because you are choosing yourself and you see yourself. And it changes the entire dynamic around you. And let's get, I want to be honest with you. When you start setting boundaries, because last month we talked about boundaries as love, when you start creating boundaries, like initially, it's going to create chaos in your life. It's going to disrupt your life because people are being used to treating you a certain way. They got used to you abandoning yourself. They're not used to the new version of you yet. People are going to challenge your boundaries. People are going to interpret your self-care as selfishness. And that's okay. That's okay because if you can't stay regulated in your nervous system, you're always going to be coming from the story of you that doesn't feel enough, that feels like too much, a burden, a fraud. But when you start to create boundaries, you choose from peace, you choose from discernment, not abandonment, not chaos, not fear, but love, compassion. Because here's the truth, people don't usually resist your boundary, they resist losing access to the version of you that abandoned yourself. Say hello, amen to that. So, where are you saying yes because you're afraid of what happens if you say no? Where are you saying yes in your life, career, family, job, like relationships? Because you're afraid. You're afraid of what will happen if you say no. Listen, I'm this whole boundary thing, I don't get right. I'm still working on that, especially with the closest relationships that I have in my family. And I don't get it right all the time. And it's okay because I am flexing a new muscle. I am teaching or training, whatever word you want to use, others how to treat me now with my boundaries. So, one of the things that I say when I feel judgment, criticism, being right or wrong, like control conversations coming at me about me, I I say, listen, I want to have this conversation with you, but I am not available to talking to you in that tone or to the blame and shame game. And you don't have to over explain yourself. You don't have to convince anybody. You just say that, and that's it. That's all it takes. That's your boundary. I am not available for this conversation right now if that is the tone and how you, or the approach that you want to be in. Because the truth is, there's no right or wrong, right? There is people's perspective lens of what they think is based on their beliefs as right and wrong. but they're choosing control over connection and over relationship. If you just got curious, if you know what, if people just were a little bit more curious in life, I think the world would be a much nicer, kinder place because we would understand where people come from much better instead of trying to get people to understand us all the time. Because when I was in that room this week being seen, it's not because I was trying to get people to understand me or to see me. It's because I saw them. I understood them. And they felt so held in my presence that it created shifts and impact. There was even a woman who works with Lisa Nichols, and she won the speaker contest before this one that I was in. And we had a conversation, and I was so connected in the conversation that I said something that shifted her perspective, her belief. It even shifted the way that she showed up on stage. And there was a time that she even said to me, "Thanks, Margarita," while she was in the middle of her talk, because I gave her something that was valuable, and that was my presence. I was present enough to hear her, that what I said aligned with what she needed to hear to shift, to create more of an impact, to have a different perspective to whatever it is. And that's the power that we all have being present with one another. And so when you declare your boundary, there's nothing else to say. You don't have to argue to be right. You just say, "Okay, I'm walking away. I think I think it's best for both of us to regulate ourselves, our nervous system, because we're not going to listen. We're not going to have a productive conversation. I'll come back." But say when you're coming back, because repairing is just as important to create connection instead of resentment. But you get to learn how to regulate yourself first. That's emotional sovereignty. So discernment says, I can love you without abandoning myself. I can still love you, but I don't have to abandon myself. When you feel yourself spiraling or about to spiral, maybe you're about to abandon yourself because a desire isn't being met, I want you to choose devotion instead. And you don't need to force yourself back into peace. You only need to return to yourself. You only need to return home to yourself, to your body, to your truth, to your joy, love. So I want to invite you to try on some of these practices that I do to help me regulate my nervous system when it happens in real time. Because I think that is the moment that we have to either make a better than choice or to choose from our past story. And I don't know about you, but I've been making the same choices for so many years. Like, uh, talk about insanity. And I was hoping for new results. So talk about insanity. So if you want new results, make a new choice. And the only way to make a new choice is to pause long enough to make a better than choice from a regulated place. So the first one, one of the most effective ones and the one that you have the most readily accessible is your breath. So put your hand in your heart. Take one long, slow breath in your nose. Feeling your lower belly really fill up. Hold it at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly breathe out from your mouth for 8 counts. 7, 6, 5. And as you're doing that, tell your nervous system that I am safe right now. Take 2 or 3 more breaths if your body asks for it. And repeat yourself over and over again. I am safe right now. I am safe and I am worthy and I matter. That's it. Simple. I mean, can you feel the shift already just by taking a breath? The other really, really great one is to shake and to dance because movement really helps to move the energy through and to process. It interrupts survival mode. So shake your hands, shake your head, shake your feet, stand up and just shake all of it. I can't stand up because you would lose part of me. So I'm just going to shake in my seat. And you could do this anywhere. You could do it when you're in the car. You could do it while you're waiting for the bus. You could do it anywhere, anytime that you're feeling activated, just or upset or frustrated, whatever it is. Like just shake it off. You know, that great song. I love that song. And it is. It reminds you like people are going to hate. Life is going to happen, but you get to shake it off. Dance it out. Like play a song and just dance to one song today and see how quickly your energy shifts from survival to thriving or being present. Another one that I love to do because I truly believe that your voice is as unique as a fingerprint and it is your most healing instrument. The instrument that is the most healing for you and your body is your voice. And so one of the things that I love to do is vocal toning. I even do like chakra seed mantras. Maybe I'll do an episode. I'm going to start a new podcast actually, and I'm just going to have more people who talk about alternative modalities. But humming, just hum, it really helps to calm your vagus nerve, and your vagus nerve is the biggest nerve that goes throughout your whole organs. And when it's calm, it really helps to calm your parasympathetic system. So just you can even chant Om, Om, or there are other chants that are actually like beautiful chants that you can say. You can even chant an affirmation. I am safe right now. I am safe right now. I am whole. I am worthy. I am free. I just came up with that. So you could do anything. There's no right or wrong, just whatever is actually true for you. So singing softly really helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. The other one that I love to do is energy medicine or qigong, and it works with your biofield. So if you trace figure eights in your aura, just in your space, anywhere, you can even make little ones. It's everywhere on your back, on your feet, on your legs. Do figure eights. You can even tap on your chest to get the energies moving forward. You can sweep your arms up slowly and then bring them down in front of you. And this brings your energy down from the high flighty, like anxious, stressful state. And it grounds you back into your body. So just kind of bringing energy down into your body. Or you can just gather energy in front of you. There's an assemblage point here. These are all things that you don't need to know about. There's for them to be effective and to work. So just imagine that there's this point here, this radiating point, and you can gather energy, connect your assemblage point, and then bring that energy to your heart. And that opens your heart to have capacity for loving yourself and loving, just more loving. And then there, of course, there's what I call the joy reset, going out into nature, going for a walk, sitting in the sun, Sun helps us with our joy. It's like our happy medicine. Listening to music that uplifts you. Petting your pet, your dog, your cat. Laughing. Putting on a comedy show to laugh. That all just uplifts your joy. Hugging a tree, sitting by a tree, going barefoot on grass. Those all ground you and it makes you feel one with nature. And it's a really great joy regulator, being out in nature and being in gratitude. Because joy is not avoidance. It's not avoidance. It's a nervous system state. Let me say it again. Joy is a nervous system state. It's your birthright. It's your birthright. Claim it. Who's going to claim their joy today? Say yes. Say yes. I'm going to claim my joy today because you are worthy and worth it. And joy is a superpower. What helps you come home to yourself? Okay? Not theoretically, but actually. What? What is it? Please share in the comments. So this version of you needs devotion, not perfection. And, the truth is you're going to stumble. You're going to stumble. You're going to get triggered. And you're going to outgrow those old patterns slowly. But awareness changes everything. And devotion is the key. Because you don't become someone new overnight. You become someone more honest. You don't become someone new. You're never going to change. You just are becoming more aware and then making a choice to shift. So that's more honest. And earlier I said when there's a breakdown, it's important to clean it up, to come back and take responsibility for how you showed up in that moment. And it's not about shame, it's not about blame or perfection. It's about really creating connection and trying to understand the other person first. Say, just owning it, saying, I'm really sorry that I was not in the space to have a conversation with you. But I felt myself getting anxious. I felt myself abandoning, leaving my body. I found myself feeling like I needed to defend myself because I was afraid. I was feeling attacked. I was feeling shame. Whatever the truth is for you, call it out because when you call it out, it doesn't have power over you anymore. And just restate your boundary. I am available to you. I want to talk to you. But can we have this conversation? Be loving and connected instead of being in a place of blame. And the only way to do that is to come from I statements. I feel this. I felt that. What I heard was this. And then reflect back to them what you hear them say. What I'm hearing you say, or you can even say, oh, I can hear why that would have had upset you. I see how that could have come off that way, but that was not my intention. Simple. No need to defend, no need to argue to be right. Just be like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that by saying that you interpret it that way. But that is not my intent. That was not my intention. And if you feel like the argument is getting escalated again, say, help, pause. Can we put a pin on this? Because it's happening again, right? And you get to repair over having ego around it. Because relationships deepen through repair, not performance. So where in your life can you stop waiting to feel chosen and just begin choosing yourself? Ask yourself, who are you becoming through your devotion? If this conversation impacted you in any way, I'd like to invite you inside my sistership inner circle. It's a private Facebook group where we go even deeper. We're in community, and it's not about hierarchy or titles. It's really about seeing and holding each other in where we are currently. The links will be in the show notes. So I hope to see you inside the inner circle, and it's totally free to join. But if this conversation stirred or sparked something within you, if you felt seen, heard, simply not alone, I want you to please share this. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and stay connected. Because when you do, this content will reach more of the women who still need that reminder that healing is available to them and that they are not alone. So keep rising, keep shining, keep coming home because you matter. You're enough exactly as you are. And remember, coming home to you is not a destination, it's a devotion. I am your soul sis, Margarita Rose, and I'll see you next week here on the same time, same Soul Spark channel. Until then, be kind to yourself and others.